I am Dr. J. Suganilakshmi from the Department of English, V.V. Vanne Perumal College for Women, Virudhunagar. Today we are going to discuss about Sudha Murty's short story, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read. Before getting into the topic, let us have a short introduction about the author. Sudha Murty is a renowned educator, philanthropist and a prolific writer. She is best known for her immense contribution to the Indian literature. She has a unique ability to tell a deep and meaningful story in a simple narrative, which can engage the people of different age groups. She excels as an author of Marathi, Kannada and English languages. Her works has been translated into several Indian languages and it is even included in the curriculum of schools and colleges. Her writings usually offer a valuable life lesson. She was born on August 19, 1950 in Karnataka. She is a graduate in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from the BVP College of Engineering and Technology. She completed her post-graduation in Computer Science Engineering from the Indian Institute of Sciences. She started her career as an engineer. Actually, she was the first female engineer to hired at India's largest auto manufacturer Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company. In the year 1996, she founded Infosys and now she is the chairperson of that organization. She worked as a professor in the Krishtakka University. Now she served as a visiting professor in the Bangalore University. She was the recipient of several awards. In the year 1996, she was awarded Best Teacher Award for her excellent teaching methods. For her outstanding social service to the society, she was awarded National Award by the Public Relations Society of India. For her achievement in the field of literature, she was awarded Karnataka Rajyotsava State Award in the year 2000. In the year 2006, she received R.K. Narayan's Award for Literature. For her excellence in Kannada language, she was awarded Atimitable Award in the year 2011. She was awarded with India's most prestigious award, Padma Shri, in the year 2006. Recently, in April 2023, she was honored with India's yet another most prestigious award, Padma Bhushan. Her story, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read, is a fictional short story. It is included in the collection How I Taught My Grandmother to Read and Other Stories. It was published in the year 2004. It is a delightful story in which the author recalls the real-life incident witnessed by her. It provides a valuable lesson that there is no age limit for learning. It describes the journey of the old lady who is determined to make herself literate. The plot of the story centers around one important character, Krishtakka, who is a 62-year-old illiterate lady, but she wants to read a novel on her own. She set the deadline and achieved the target within the time she set for that. She was able to read the novel Kashi Yatra on her own at the age of 62. She was helped by her little granddaughter who was 12 years old. The grandmother proved that there is no age bar for learning. When we look into the appearance of the grandmother, we can notice that she is an old, wrinkly woman, short, plump and slightly bent. She always wore a white saree with a silver locks covering her face, due to which the narrator described her as a winter landscape in the mountain. She has a calm, gentle and reassuring face. She always has one hand at the back and the other one is busy in telling the beads of rosary. She is a saintly woman, quite religious and kind. She is very emotional, but she never shows her emotions outwardly. She has a lot of love, affection and blessings for her grandchildren. She is accustomed to old tradition, so she is not interested in any modern scientific advancement and its developments. On the whole, she is purely a saintly woman with a heart of gold. Kashi Yatra. This is the name of the novel which the grandmother Krishtakka want to read. Kashi Yatra novel is written by the Canadian writer Triveni, who was a wonderful writer. Her style is easy to read and quite convincing. Her stories dealt with a complex problem in the lives of the ordinary people. One of her novel, Kashi Yatra, appeared as a serial in the Kannada magazine Karmavira. In that novel, there is one old lady who wished to go to Kasi temple to worship Lord Vishweshwara, and in the same story, there is one poor young orphan girl. She could not get married because she don't have enough money for her wedding. At the end, the old lady gives all her savings to the young orphan girl. She considered the happiness of the young girl is more important than worshipping the Lord. Back to our lesson. The narrator of the story, as I have told you earlier, she is a 12 years old little girl. She used to stay in a village in the North Karnataka with her grandparents. I once again repeat, the grandmother Krishtakka is an illiterate lady. She don't know how to read and write, but she want to read a novel on her own. Especially the novel Kashi Yatra really impressed her. That novel published as a serial in the magazine Karmavira. Every Wednesday, the magazine Karmavira would come. The grandmother would ask her little granddaughter to read the storyline of the novel. At that time, she listened to the reading of a little granddaughter with a greater attention and concentration. The grandmother too never went to Kashi. She identified herself with the heroine of the novel. After listening to the next episode of Kashi Yatra, she used to went to temple and join with her friends at the temple courtyard. She discussed with them the latest episode of Kashi Yatra. This shows how much she is interested in reading that particular novel. Once the narrator went to a wedding with her cousins in a nearby village. She went there for a couple of days but overstayed there for a week. When she returned to her native village, she found her grandmother in tears. She was shocked. She had never seen the old lady cry even in the most difficult circumstances of her life. She asked what happened. The old lady narrated her story to the granddaughter. The grandmother had lost her mother when she was a little young girl. There was no one to look after her and guide her. Her father married again. In those days, nobody cares to give education to the girls. So the grandmother never went to school. She got married and had children. After some time, she had grandchildren also. She find fulfillment and satisfaction in bringing up them. But some after time, she regret for not going to the school. Later in the life, she learned a valuable lesson that education is the most precious wealth one must acquire. So she decided to give a good education to the children and the grandchildren. Once when the narrator was away, the Karmavira magazine came as usual. She opened the magazine in a very curious mood, but she was not able to read a single alphabet in that magazine. She could not understand anything that was written in the magazine. For the first time, she felt so much dependent and helpless. So the grandmother decided to learn the Kannada language from the next day onwards. She decided to work hard for that. She kept the Saraswati Puja during the Dasara as the deadline. That day, she would be able to read the novel on her own. She wanted to be independent. The narrator saw the determination on her face, yet she laughed at the decision of her grandmother. She made fun of that old lady, but the grandmother just smiled and said nothing. From the next day onwards, the narrator started her tuition. The grandmother was a wonderful student. She did amazing homework. She read, write, repeat all this action every day. The narrator was her only teacher and the grandmother was her first student. Dasara festival came as usual. The novel Kashi Yatra has been published by that time. The narrator secretly bought the copy of that novel. The grandmother called her little granddaughter to the puja place and made her to sit on the stool. She gave her a gift of frog material. Then the grandmother did something unusual. She bent down and touched the feet of the little granddaughter. The narrator was taken aback. The old lady gave the explanation for that. She said that she was touching the feet of the teacher, not her granddaughter. From her point of view, the teacher should be respected irrespective of gender and age. Then she opened the novel and read the title Kashi Yatra. Both of them felt great delight at that moment. The grandmother's sincere efforts and her strong determination bore fruit. So she gave due respect to her teacher, who happened to her 12-year-old granddaughter. The story has a lot of themes. The first main theme is that there is no age bar for learning. The second theme is a desire to succeed. It is well displayed through the desire of the grandmother to succeed in reading the Kashi Yatra novel by her own. The third theme of the story is the power of education. Education makes us independent, so all of us should be studied. Earlier, the grandmother used to feel dependent, but it was only education that made her dependent. The teacher, irrespective of age and gender, deserves to be respected. This is the main theme of the story. The title, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read, is significant because it encapsulates the heartwarming story of intergenerational connection, love and the power of education. The title not only adds interest to the reader's mind, but it sets the tone for the inspiring narrative. The title highlights the unique relationship between the grandmother and the granddaughter, emphasizing the depth of their connection. It conveys the central theme of education as a means of empowerment. The title also serves as a tribute to the grandmother and the wisdom they possess. It acknowledges the important role that they play in nurturing and shaping their grandchildren's lives. I hope all of you understand better in this video. Thank you.